That Uber driver might have actually saved himself from criminal liability in that incident of the tragic passing of Cecilia Chien. In fact, I say that that one phone call he made to the boy who had booked the Uber to confirm if the lady can leave might have actually saved him from potential manslaughter charges in court. So for those people who don't get the context, Cecilia Chien, who was heavily intoxicated, was booked an Uber back home by this boy who was with her friends. However, in the middle of the trip, because she was drunk, she got so aggressive with the driver, and even at what point she was almost choking the driver. So the driver makes a good move. He pulls over, and at first he locks the lady inside the car, and he does not let her stumble away. After that, what does he do? He calls Ronald, the boy who had booked the Uber, and explains the situation and asks what to do about it. But because the boy did not care about her, he just said, "She's an adult, let her go." And tragically later she was hit by a car at the superhighway. But by asking that question, the driver had actually shifted responsibility from him to the boy. And the reason for this is because the law under section 49 or 87 of the Traffic Act, together with other law of tort, it places a certain legal obligation for drivers to exercise reasonable care to avoid acts or omission that could foreseeably injure the passenger. In fact, as a driver, if you act with gross negligence and it results to the death of the passenger, you can be charged for manslaughter under section 202 of the Penal Code, or maybe even section 160, which says that you can be charged for engaging in acts that endanger the life of another person. So if that driver dropped off the lady without calling the boy who booked the Uber, he would actually be liable for contributory negligence and potentially manslaughter, as I've stated. So that phone call was, in fact, not just shifting responsibility. It was actually confirming that the driver took an at least reasonable measure to ensure the safety of the passenger. So in case the investigators want to implicate the driver, that phone call can be one of his best defense when it comes to this case. So apart from that, from a moral high ground, I still feel like the driver should have done a lot more by even driving the lady back to the boy, even if the boy did not want the lady at that time. At least it would have prevented her from walking on the highway when she was highly intoxicated. Maybe you can tell me what you think about it.